Hello everyone and welcome back to a new video of Mr. Mark Explains History. We will keep going with our story about the Cold War and we're looking at the origins of the conflict. In the previous video we looked at some early tensions and now this is going to change because we're going to talk about the Grand Alliance and the superpowers actually working together. So the Cold War is of course a conflict between the US and the USSR, and we talked in the previous video about early tensions. This means that there were already some reasons why the two didn't get along so well. But we're going to talk about a period of around 4 years, the Grand Alliance, when they had to work together to beat Nazi Germany. So in the previous video, we ended with the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, and this was really a low point in the relationship between the West and the Soviet Union. So Stalin and Hitler, they made a secret pact, a secret deal to divide the lands between them. So Poland, Latvia, Estonia, Finland, they kind of came to agreement what belongs to who, and they also both invaded Poland in 1939. So the West didn't trust USSR at all. They saw this country as the same kind of aggressor as Nazi Germany. However, Stalin and Hitler, they made this deal in 1939, but Hitler betrayed Stalin in 1941. He broke the non-aggression pact and he started Operation Barbarossa to invade the Soviet Union. Hitler had always been very much anti-communist, so this was all kind of predictable that he would eventually expand his German empire and try to conquer the Soviet Union as well. So this means that now the Soviet Union is at war with Nazi Germany and the United Kingdom was still at war with Nazi Germany. And it makes sense that those two countries now look at each other and start to work together. And this also happened. Then in December 1941, the Japanese, the ally of Nazi Germany, both in the Axis powers, they attacked Pearl Harbor, the Navy base of the American Navy in Hawaii. And this means that the US declares war on Japan, they are at war with the Axis powers, the UK is at war with the Axis powers, and the Soviet Union is at war with the Axis powers because of Operation Barbarossa. So the three of them, they form this alliance and we call it the Grand Alliance. So with those three big powers, big countries, the United States, the USSR and the United Kingdom. So from December 1941 they start working together and they will try to beat both Nazi Germany and Japan. Initially it's still a very tough phase in the war and they are really struggling. But there are two turning points. You could argue, of course, I'm really rushing the Second World War here. I'm just trying to focus on the main line, but you could say there's two big turning points. First, the Battle of Stalingrad. So the Nazi advance was halted at Stalingrad. And by February 1933, the Nazi army there is defeated. And from then, on the Eastern Front, they're only retreating. They're being pushed back by the Red Army, by the Soviets. In North Africa, the Nazis also lose a battle, the Second Battle of El Alamein. And this means that in North Africa, they're also losing, they're also being pushed back. And the Allies eventually managed to get a hold of North Africa. So this means on the Eastern Front and the African Front, the Nazis are both losing. So there is a situation where the Allies start to realize we have a chance, we probably can win this war if we keep going like this. And so this turning point makes them realize that. And they start meeting and they start discussing already what to do when the war is over. And the first time the big three meet, so the big three are Stalin, Roosevelt and Churchill. The first time when they meet is in Teheran in November, December 1943. So this is after those successes, it became clear that the Nazis are going to lose. It's just, they need to discuss how to exactly do that. So this is the first point of attention. We're probably gonna beat the Nazis, but we need a proper plan to do it. And they discuss, opening a second front. So the Red Army, the Soviet Union, has been fighting the Nazis in Eastern Europe. In North Africa, there's been a front, but there needs to be a second front in Europe to really beat them. So the plans for D-Day, which happens in June 44, are made at Teheran. So they agree on that. We need to open a second front to really defeat Nazi Germany. Another big topic, as I said, is talking about the post-war world. What will that look like? So if Nazi Germany is defeated, if Japan is defeated, if all those countries that are occupied are now liberated, what will happen to that? How can we prevent future war? What will happen to the governments, the regimes in those countries that have been occupied? This is being addressed for the first time. And also what to do with Germany. So Germany, after World War I, the Allies agreed on the Versailles Treaty that didn't really work out so well, because Germany started the Second World War. And they, especially the US and the UK, really want to do it well this time and rebuild Germany. The Soviets think about it a little bit different. But they really start to discuss this for the first time, what to do with Germany after the war is over. So they talk for the first time, the big three, in Tehran, and the second time they meet is in Yalta, in modern-day Ukraine, in Crimea. And there, these plans get a little bit more, let's say, detailed. It becomes really clear that Germany is going to be defeated. So the tensions rise a little bit, like what to do with Europe, what to do with Germany. And they also make some proper agreements. So we're going to talk about that next time, about the Yalta Conference. Make sure to like, subscribe, etc. Leave a comment. As I said before, I'm really trying to tell you the basic info. Of course, I know it's way more detailed and it's a bit of a dumbed down version sometimes, but I try to explain the basics, and there's loads of other nice videos if you want to dive more into the details, let's say. So thank you for watching and see you next time.